What's going on, guys? Gabe the Great back here again with another video. And hey, welcome to the channel if it's your first time stopping by. On this channel, I talk all things basketball, NBA, WNBA, NCAA, AAU, and even that little church league down the street from your house. So if you enjoy talking about basketball, why don't you give me a like? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But let's go ahead and jump straight into the topic today. Question of the day: do you really believe that they are going to allow college athletes to make money off their own likeness? So in case you didn't know, there is a bill in California right now going through the legislature. It's called SB206. And what SB206 says is give students the right to make money off of their own image and their own likeness. If this bill were to pass, then, players can make money selling jerseys or from their YouTube channel or any other way they want to make money. They would be able to sign with an agent and market themselves in many other ways or any ways that they would like to see fit. So this bill is now going through the California legislature and it's going to be voted on very soon. If this bill were to pass, it would send a huge shockwave through college athletics. Number one, because it's California. California has some of the most prestigious colleges in America when it comes to athletics. You're talking UCLA, you're talking Berkeley, you're talking USC, okay? Obviously on top of that, it is the largest state in America. If this bill were to pass, that would mean that if you went to schools in California, then you will be able to make money off your own name. Versus if you went to a school outside of California, then you wouldn't be able to make money off your own name. Now, of course, the NCAA did not like this. They replied with a letter basically saying, hey, if these bills get passed, it's going to put all the schools in California at risk of sanctions. Pretty much losing money, losing TV deals, and all these other things. Basically saying that if California passes this law, then the schools would not be able to participate in the NCAA. Now, first of all, let's just talk about how crazy that is, that a nonprofit organization literally thinks that they can tell our politicians, our lawmakers, that if you pass this law, we are going to punish the schools in your state. That is nuts to me. If you just say that out loud, a nonprofit is threatening to punish the education systems if their lawmakers pass a law. And because of the threat from the NCAA, the UC systems also issued a statement urging lawmakers not to pass this law. This is nuts to me, and if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I really want to encourage you to go watch my 6-part documentary about whether or not college athletes should be paid. I'll leave a card up here somewhere. My basic belief is that the NCAA is a cartel. It is a cartel. When a nonprofit organization believes that they can make threats to education systems and to lawmakers to pass or to not pass laws, we're talking about an immense amount of power. And I talked about in that documentary about how the NCAA uses wage suppression to make money off of their student athletes. Now, again, I've been pretty consistent with my stance on the NCAA. I don't have a problem if the NCAA says, hey, if you play in the NCAA, you cannot make any money. We are going to be amateurs in the NCAA. Therefore, all our athletes are going to be amateurs and no one's going to make any money. I got no problem with that. It gets a little weird, though, when the NCAA starts pulling in billions of dollars every football and basketball season when the players can't make any money themselves. Again, I don't even have a problem if the schools don't want to pay the players, even though I think the schools should financially compensate the players. But the idea that you cannot make money off of your own name, the idea that a guy like Destroying had to forego his college scholarship because he had a YouTube channel, and there's been other athletes like him as well. The idea that these guys are not allowed to make money off their own name is totally ludicrous. And the NCAA is completely a cartel. I've said many a times that the idea of amateurism is really just false. Like, nobody watches college athletics because they're amateurs or because of amateurism, which is what the NCAA wants you to believe. But that's just not true. Nobody cares if players are making money. Nobody. So now what do I think is actually going to happen with SB206? I gotta be honest here, I'm going to reserve my judgment. Now in general, when it comes to laws in this country, I pretty much think the laws that gets written are the ones that are the most profitable. So whatever is going to turn the most money is generally the law that's going to get written. I don't think in America that the majority of our laws are built on the principles of right and wrong. I think they're built on the idea of profit and loss. But again, that's just my opinion. So it's really hard for me to say whether or not this bill is going to pass. Because if the bill passes and the NCAA essentially says, okay, UCs, if you pay your players, we're essentially going to kick you out of the NCAA. I mean, can we really imagine a Pac-12 without UCLA and USC? I mean, could you imagine the football schedule or the basketball schedule or anything else for that matter without UCLA, USC, Berkeley, Stanford? Like, none of these schools would any longer be in the Pac-12. And so I don't think it's that complex of a moral issue. I think the moral issue is pretty simple. A man or woman, as long as they're of legal age, should be able to make money ad infinitum, so as long as it's good and it's moral and it's not hurting anybody. And I think what most students are going to do, they're probably going to go start YouTube channels. Because to be honest, most of these players aren't five-star talents, but there's going to be a lot of people who will be interested in watching their day-to-day vlogs as a volleyball player or water polo player or basketball, baseball, football player. That will create very interesting content on places like YouTube, Instagram, and any other social media. But I think it's complex because if the NCAA essentially says, hey guys, you're gonna lose out on your championships, you're gonna lose out on your conference, you're gonna lose out on all your TV contracts. And basically any school that would play a school from California would essentially get a sanction as well from the NCAA. Now, there are enough colleges within California themselves to be able to play each other, but are the schools really going to come together and form their own college? Especially when they've already taken the stand and have said that the lawmakers should not pass this law. So the NCAA doesn't want this law, and the universities don't want the law. It's not looking good, to be honest. Again, I don't think this law or something like this law gets passed until universities and the NCAA can figure out a way to profit from it. I feel like they know the tide is turning, and I feel like they know that people really want this. And what I believe what big organizations and big cartels do when they feel like times are changing and people are going from it doesn't matter if the players get paid to a hardcore, yes, the players should absolutely be able to make money off their own likeness. Then usually what these big organizations do is find a way to get ahead of it. They find a way to go from the villain to the good guy. And so while this year they're gonna say, hey, don't pass this law, in a couple years from now, I could totally see the NCAA writing their own rules about how players can now be financially compensated, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, finally the NCAA has turned around and they're the good guys. It's BS. It's all for money. By the way, I don't know why it's still a debate whether or not players should even be compensated in the first place. And there's some people who go, well, they got a scholarship and so they should be happy with that. Okay, look, Bill, it's not our fault that you were trash in high school and you couldn't get an athletic scholarship. Yes, we know that if you were in their shoes, you would be grateful. And yes, Bill, we know that if you didn't have some career-ending injury in high school, you would be one of the greatest college athletes of all time. We get it. But as I've said before, a scholarship is not a degree and a degree is not a paycheck. So in exchange from you going to school full-time and also doing your sport full-time, you're basically getting an opportunity at an opportunity at an opportunity. You got an opportunity with a scholarship that gives you an opportunity for a degree that perhaps could give you an opportunity at a job. And let's be honest, Many of these student athletes, it's not like they have the time to do like a finance major or, engineering or something like that. Some do, yes, there are those out there. But many of these five-star guys, they don't have the time for stuff like that. I mean, even Josh Rosen himself said that when he was at UCLA, that juggling football and his academics was like having two full-time jobs. But again, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this law will pass? If it does pass, what do you think are the ramifications of it? Do you think all the UC schools will pull out of the NCAA? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Hey, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. Hey, check out some of my other content. I got a gaming channel. I'm also going to be starting the NBA censored content on another channel. So hey, I'll see you next time. Peace.